Good day everyone, I'm the leader of Group 6 third presenter. Our topic is all about the early education in Calamba and Binyan. Rizal's early education began in Calamba and later Rizal continued in Binyan, shaped by the Spanish colonial system that emphasized the 4 R's: reading, writing, arithmetics, and religions. Reading, learn how to read words. Writing, learn how to write letters and sentences. Arithmetic, learn basic math like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Religions, learn religious teaching like prayers and moral values. The educational system during Rizal's time was very strict, relying heavily on memorization, and teaching enforced discipline in a harsh way, sometimes physical punishment like a whip. While this method was harsh and outdated, Rizal managed to absorb the necessary skills that prepared him for higher studies in Manila and other countries abroad. His intellectual growth was remarkable, showing that his brilliance developed not because of the system but because he worked hard despite its weakness. As he overcame its limitation to become one of the brightest minds of his generation. The hero's first teacher. Doña Teodora Rizal's mother was the first and the most influential teacher. At the age of 3, she taught him the alphabet and prayers, instilling him to discipline, faith, and love for learning. Doña Teodora also noticed his talent for poetry and encouraged him to write, nurturing his creativity alongside his academic skills. To make Rizal's learning enjoyable, Doña Teodora told Rizal a story that sparked Rizal's imagination and curiosity. Her patience, consciousness, and understanding shaped Rizal's early intellectual and moral foundation, making Doña Teodora one of the greatest influences in his life. And also she is the one who helped him become a national hero.
Next is Jose Goes to Binyan. In June 1869, Rizal left his hometown of Calamba to study in Binyan. He was accompanied by his older brother, Pasiano, who acted as a second father and guide. They traveled by Caromata and lodged at his aunt's house upon arrival. Although Binyan was wealthier and more developed than Calamba, Rizal felt homesick almost immediately. So pag June 1869 kuno gipeskwela kuno sa Binyan si Rizal sa iyang parents because they believe nga if ato siya mo eskwela, they would give him a stronger academic training kumpara sa Calamba. And he was accompanied by his older brother, si Pasiano, 10 years older sa iyaha, and acted as iyahang guardian, mentor, and financer. And they traveled by Caromata. So kaniting Caromata, it's like duha ka ligid nga ang nagpadagan kay kabayo. Mo nang gigamit nga road transportation sa panahon ning Rizal. And after nila naabot sa Binyan, dito siya ni stay sa balay sa iyahang auntie. And even though kuno ang Binyan kay progressive, productive, and more developed than Calamba, Rizal felt homesick almost immediately or nabaguhan sa lugar. He missed his mother, sisters, and the familiar sights of his hometown. His reflections revealed his deep emotional attachment to Calamba, which he cherished even more while away, showing how family and home remained central to his identity. Next is a first day in Binyan School. On his first day of school, Pasiano introduced Rizal to Maestro Justiniano Aquino Cruz, a strict teacher known for his mastery of Spanish and Latin grammar. Rizal was tested immediately, asked if he knew Spanish and Latin, to which he modestly replied a little. His classmates, especially Pedro, the teacher's son, mocked him for his answer. Despite this, Rizal quickly adapted to the classroom environment, showing resilience and determination. So pag first day sa klase sa Binyan, gi-introduce ni Pasiano si Maestro Justiniano Aquino Cruz sa Kang Rizal, usa ka strict teacher known for his mastery of Spanish and Latin grammar. And Maestro Justiniano asked Rizal if he knew Spanish, to which Rizal replied a little. And his classmate Pedro, the son of Maestro Justiniano, mocked him sa iyahang gitubag. And despite sa mockery, dali ra na-adapt ni Rizal ang environment sa classroom. He described his teacher as tall, thin, and severe, with a deep knowledge of grammar, and though strict, the teacher helped shape Rizal's academic discipline.
Sa first day of new school ni Jose, he got into a fight. Sa nang bully niya, which is si Pedro, who had made fun of him earlier. Even though Jose mas gamay o batanon, siyang Pedro, he won because nakaibaw siya o wrestling na gitudlo sa iyang uncle. This made his classmates like him a lot. So, mga classmates niya, naganahan siya. Later that day, ang laing classmate niya named Andres challenged him to arm wrestling, and napildi siya since iyang arms kay dili kusgan and almost hitting his head on the ground. In the days after, he had more fights sa mga local boys, but he wasn't someone who looked for trouble. Dili lang yun siya moatras if he challenged siya. So Jose loved painting, so he spent his free time at the studio of an old painter nga si Juan Chu, who was the teacher father-in-law. Si Juan Chu is impressed siya sa talent ni Jose and taught him to draw and paint for free. Juan Chu was an old painter who was married to his teacher's daughter, and he lived close to the school. Since si Rizal loved yun kaayo niya ang art, he used his free time para muadto sa studio ni Juan Chu, where he got to learn drawing and painting. Wala siya nagbayad sa tanan. Together with his classmate Jose Guevara nga ganahan sa dog painting, Rizal practiced and got better at it, becoming one of the most liked young artists sa ilang school. Both Juan Chu and his classmates were amazed sa iyang talent, which showed that Rizal was good not just at studying but also sa art, something he cared sa iyang tibuok kalibutan.
Good day everyone, my name is Crystal Malaloyan and I will be discussing Rizal's life in Binyan. So, if we look at Rizal's life in Binyan, kay dili siya exactly kanang vacation. Kay he lived at sa gitawag nato og Spartan life, which basically means very strict and simple lang a way of living. Imagine no, kanang mamata siya every single day, mag-pray niya, study, tas kaon very basic meal of rice and fried fish. Niya after kaon at na-arrange sa school, dili siya para sa tuwa karon ba nga napay tayo mag-TikTok, niya outfit check, ingon anak kay para siya daw siya time para sa mga distractions. His lifelong jud no was built on a lucre jud of study, prayer, and drawing. Kay para sa inyo ha guys, does that sound like a boring routine? Kay for Rizal, no, dili siya about sa kalaay. It was about building a strong character kuno mentas kanang bata pa. So, let's move forward to the next slide kayo. Si Rizal, di ay daw, kanang anak din nga, kanang dili daw siya robot, kaya gina-value po di ay ni Rizal ang playtime, kanang igabi di ay, magawa siya with his relatives ang silingan para magduwa under the moonlight. And after duwa is what pa na niya with lots of gratitude. Grabe kay grateful ni Rizal no kay feeling sa niya nga kana ganing pagbalance niya sa iyang pag-study hard at pagduwa sa gawas igabi kay mao na ang nakapahealthy niya. In fact, while naa siya sa Binyan kay wa daw siya nagkasakit daw, it's a good reminder po for us nga even when school gets busy kay we need that balance to stay kanang sharp. So next slide kay let's talk about his life, his school life. Kanang we all know naman nga genius Rizal, right? He was topping Spanish and Latin classes and leaving everyone in the dust before. But here's the reality check. Kay being the best sa class daw is not always easy. Iyang mga classmates daw kay dili malipayon para sa iyang mga achievements. Halos na daw kinasuyo sa iyaha. Niya, naabot sa point nga they would make up lies niya. I-report siya sa teacher just to get him in trouble. Diba? More siya 80s version of school drama. So, sa last slide of my part, kay about sa mga blows nga nadawat ni Rizal. So, because of those jealous classmates, Rizal was punished kuno dili lang kausa but kadaghan. Na-mention niya nga rare kuno ang day nga kanang wala siya na get hit by a teacher. Imagine no, grateful kayo ka tas naninguha ra kag eskwela pero tungod sa mga kanang sayaon nakagi kag ingon ana mo na nga dead man na lang ito siya sa basher, guys. Niya, what's impressive kang Rizal no kay dili lang iyang grades, it's his attitude to keep going kay even though he was being unfairly punished and bullied before kay he did not become a troublemaker. Iyang ginakip ang iyang reputation as a good boy jud and just kept on excelling in class kay ang iyang giuse nga revenge no kay iyang success.
Good day everyone. Today I will be reporting about the end of Binyan. So sa December 1870, in Tagalog, 1870, natapos ang pag-aaral ni Rizal sa bayan ng Binyan. So ang kanyang kapatid na si Saturnina sent a message to Rizal na darating ang barkong Talim para sunduin siya pauwi sa Calamba. Talim ay isang pangalan ng barko or steamer. Steamer, hindi ito yung ginagamit nating panluto or sa ato ang generation karon. Steamer is ito yung ginagamit noong unang panahon ni Rizal para sa transportation ng mga pasahero o yung mga sumasakay at mga gamit sa pagitan ng mga taong bayan sa tabing dagat o ilog sa Pilipinas. Siyempre, though sadness to leave his teacher and classmates, hindi siya nagpadala sa kanyang emotion. He prepared for departure sa pamamagitan ng prayer in the town church. Nagdasal siya sa simbahan ng bayan, pagpapasalamat sa lahat ng biyayang natanggap niya habang nag-aaral doon. Tapos, collecting people from the river as souvenirs. Souvenirs is mga gamit o bagay na mahinumduman ng usa ka lugar or ang dapat ma-remember na importante sa ato. So after receiving word about the steamer Talim, Rizal finally took his first ride on it, and he was thrilled by his first semester ride. Imagine how exciting that must have been for him back then, kasi bago pa lang siya makasakay ng ganitong uri ng barko. During the trip, he was cared for by Arturo Combs, isang Francis na kaibigan ng kanyang ama. Si Arturo Combs ay part ng mga dayuhang nakipag-ugnayan sa mga pamilyang mayayaman noon sa Pilipinas at siguradong naging maayos ang biyahe ni Rizal dahil sa kanyang pag-aalaga. This whole journey marked the close of his Binyan chapter, matapos siyang mag-aral doon ng 1.5 years or 1 taon at kalahati. Napakahalaga ng panahon ito kasi it shaped his academic and personal growth. Doon niya natutunan maraming bagay tungkol sa pag-aaral, pakikisama sa iba at kahit na sa pagiging matatag sa kabila ng mga hamon sa buhay. The martyrdom of Gomburza in the year of 1872. So it all started with the Cavite Mutiny, a small uprising of Filipino soldiers and workings in Cavite. But instead of treating it as what it was, the Spanish authorities exaggerated it into a full-blown revolt na ginawa nilang mas malaking issue kaysa sa totoo. There is a real goal was to suppress the secular movement for Filipino. Praise na ang ibig sabihin is ayaw nilang di sila ganahan nga na ay Filipinong pare na maaaring mamuno at ipaglaban ang karapatan ng mga Pilipino. Because of this, Fathers Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, known together as the Gomburza, were unjustly executed. They were not even part of the mutiny, but they were seen as leaders of the secular movement. So they become targets of the Spanish government to scare other Filipinos from fighting for change. This event had the biggest impact of our heroes like Jose Rizal because it made them realize how unfair the Spanish rules was and pushed them to work harder for our country's freedom. Remember, this that Pasiano was not just Rizal's brother but also his mentor, and that this moment was the start of Rizal's journey to becoming our national hero. Year after the 1872 of martyrdom of Gumburza, Rizal himself acknowledged how big of an impact that event had on his life. He said that without what happened in 1872, he might have become a Jesuit instead of reformants, na ibig sabihin, baka naging pari siya sa orden ng mga Jesuita at hindi na siya nag-focus sa pagbabago ng sistema sa bansa. To honor the three priests' sacrifice, he dedicated his second novel, El Filibusterismo, to Gumburza. Unlike his first works, No Limitangere, which focused on exposing social ills, El Filibusterismo went deeper into the need for change. It showed how injustice can push people to fight back, and it served as a tribute to those who gave their life for the Filipino people. Filibusterismo is also known as the reign of greed in English, and that its dedication to Gumburza was a bold statement against Spanish oppression. Now let's proceed to the injustice to hero mother. So in this part talks about the hardship faced by Rizal family in the year of 1872. The same year Gumburza was executed. Doña Teodora Teodora Alonso Riolanda Rizal, mother, was falsely accused of trying to poison her brother's wife. The accusation wasn't true at all. It was pushed by a vindictive Spanish lieutenant who held a grudge against the family. Likely because of their connection to the growing call of reform, as punishment, she was arrested and forced to walk 50 kilometers from Calamba, Laguna to Santa Cruz, Laguna. Imagine how tough that was for her back then, with no proper transportation or support. After that long walk, she was imprisoned for 2.5 years before finally being cleared of all charges. This injustice hit young Rizal hard, seeing how his own mother, a kind and respected woman, was treated so cruelly by Spanish authorities, made him even more aware of the unfairness in the society. It added to his drive to fight for justice and equality for all Filipinos. Remember that Doña Teodora was a well-educated woman who taught Rizal how to read and write, and when he was little, so her suffering deeply affected his views on Spanish rules.